All right, I'm Scott Al Miller. This is Sheep Guarding Llama. It is the 20th of September 2020, so it's 2020. Yeah, it's a lot of 20s. And it is Sunday. And I'm doing kind of a early morning, well, it's really about 1 p.m., but I'm doing the morning part 1 update because we had kind of a exciting, adventurous morning. So our news of the morning is, first of all, Mia just had a great night. She was so much enjoying not having Lula around because Lula stresses her out, which is tough because the first thing we found out this morning is that things did not go well with the adoption process for Lula. The person has no patience and did not want to wait 3 days, wanted Lula to be affectionate and social instantly upon arrival, which of course we had said not only does a normal dog need 3 days, but Lula is a special case. She's heavily abused. She is very old, and she's been through a couple changes recently. We're her second foster in 2 months. She needs time. She will very much need time to warm up, and when she does, she's still rather aloof much of the time. She's not the most incredibly social dog. She is very sweet. She wants to be near you at all times, but she doesn't want to be held all that much, and she certainly does not want to be petted all that much. But she does want to be petted. She does want to be held, just not nearly as much as many small dogs would. And she really needs the temperature cold because she has breathing problems, and it really helps her. So they didn't even give it 24 hours. They probably got her home got to be with her on their own by about 2:30 yesterday. And by about 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning, they had already said that things had not gone well and it was not working out. And they weren't even going to give it the 3 days. Like, they had already made the decision that that was it. So pretty much right away, Dominica went out and met them and brought Lula back. So by about 11 o'clock this morning, we already had Lula back with us, which we're very glad to have our baby back because she is so sweet and we love her like crazy. But we are really sad because obviously that was a rough night for her, and it was a rough night for them too. And this just adds stress to everything, and that is 2 adopters who have fallen through in 1 week for her. She is so much in need of someone who can really focus on her and take care of her, and this is just incredibly sad for us that we have to bring her back and that this wasn't a big success for her, because we really want her to find that right person who's able to take care of her. So that made for a really rough emotional morning after a really rough emotional day yesterday of having to give her up. So that's hard. She did come back and is getting along great with the other dogs. Of course, she's just laying down and hanging out with Dominica pretty much. She's just happy to be home, but she let me pet her. She hasn't snapped at anybody. She hasn't snapped at the other dogs. So everybody's been good and getting along, which is great, but obviously we still got to figure something out. So this is being recorded on the new GoPro Hero 9 Black. This is my second recording on this. I'm hoping that these turn out really well. I do have it set, I hope, with horizon leveling and with hyper smooth. That should make this kind of a gimbal-like experience. Not quite, but give you a very smooth, non-shaky experience, and no focus problems, because my camera always has focus problems, and the GoPros are great about that because they're fixed focus. But I've had very little chance to use it. It just arrived yesterday, kind of late in the day. I had to spend a lot of time setting it up, so I got a little bit of footage yesterday. Today's my first day to actually give it a real try, and I shot the last video hand-holding it with just a handle, and now I'm shooting it with a selfie stick. It's all GoPro gear. Not that it matters, it's a stick, but just trying out a couple different configurations to see what's shaky, what's not, what angles are good, and that kind of stuff. But so far, in what little bit I've gotten to use it, I am loving the GoPro 9, and I have a feeling it's only going to take a few weeks with the 9 before I've used it more than I used the 4 and the 5 combined, probably. And I really loved both of those. So the 4 was, man, I'm tired of the air conditioning. You can tell from these videos, I'm sure, I am so agitated with the air conditioning that's always on, trying to keep the house cool, and the sound, just the amount of noise going on all the time, and the amount of bugs going on all the time, and summer. So COVID obviously is causing a lot of stress, but the summers in Texas are so stressful because of just the heat that never ends and all the things that go with it that never end. I am ready for more moderate temperatures, and as you can tell from all the video stuff, I am ready to get traveling again as well. Also, of major note, yesterday, Saturday, my father managed to sell my 1988 RX-7 convertible that I have had for just shy of 20 years, which is really hard to believe that I owned a convertible for 20 years. I got to drive it so little. It is the car that I took Dominica on our first date in. She and I should really do a video about that car a little bit. I drove it to Pittsburgh a few times. I drove it to Ohio to see family. I've done a lot of traveling with it. I loved that car, but had to let it go. But I did get enough money for it to just barely get a new drone. Now, I'm not gonna run out and buy a drone. I need one that's under 250 grams because of the whole travel, tourism, different laws thing, and because I would need one that I can really carry around. And the DJI Mavic Mini looks to be perfect. However, they made their Air and then their Air 2, and their Air 2 was such a leap over the Air. I'm really hopeful that they're going to do the same thing with the Mini. The Mini should be due out in the next few months if they're going to do a second version. Fingers crossed. So I'm really hoping I can hold off on getting a Mini until the Mini 2 comes out. Of course, I haven't announced one, just assuming, because the current Mini has a few obvious limitations, but a big one for us is that it only shoots in 2.7K, not in 4K. So I'm hopeful that I can wait and get that and that the price won't change, in which case it's perfect. I already have the money for it, and that's what I'll be doing. That was really the big news for the day. I will talk to all of you in part 2 for Sunday.